Hello everybody, long time no see. This is Critical John, this is Powertrick.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's Gen Invasion.
This is Shangsta.
And we came from a while ago called a big event that happened in Florida and located in Daytona. One of the biggest fighting game tournaments, I would say ever. Would you say ever or not?
No, it's not.
No.
But it's pretty big in Florida.
It's the biggest.
It's the biggest tournament in Florida, and it's also one of the mainliners for the fighting game community when it comes down to tournaments. They have a few, but Florida is one of those mainstays.
All right, so yeah, we came from CEO, and me personally, this is my very first CEO, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And nearly got my legs wiped off from playing too much DDR. And we watched a lot of the matches at CEO. A lot of them were amazing. A few snore fests here and there, but that's basically how it goes. But what are your thoughts on
CEO?
CEO.
I thought it was a pretty fun event. I really liked the Jabelli Land, which is like it was essentially an arcade that ran 24/7. So I was in there playing Third Strike and old school fighting games to get to Europe.
Oh, disclaimer: I didn't go, but I've been 2 to 3 times already. So
yeah, this is my 4th CEO.
okay.
But I went to CEO like when it first came out. Like, I was the very first CEO, and like 2 other CEOs after that. So it's been a while since I went back to CEO.
So, no, the hotel wasn't that great. It was long story short, something happened in the hotel. Let's just say I cut it to basically really quickly. The room that me and my brother had stayed, Traditions 101, shout out to him. The ceiling was leaking.
Wow.
So then
In a hotel?
Yep. And they were saying they had no more rooms left, and we was trying to say that we might as well. They say if we stay, they might as well give us the whole stay on the house or something like that. We was thinking about it, but then the head manager came over and he upgraded our room, gave us $100 off, and give us basically two $10 vouchers for breakfast, which
You took advantage of it.
Huh?
I didn't eat
yeah,
breakfast.
he didn't eat. This poor soul didn't want to eat breakfast.
I can't lie.
breakfast.
Unless that's an upscale place, there's some people that do not do hotel food.
It's nice. It was a nice hotel, so the breakfast was good, right?
Yeah, my brother killed the breakfast. Like it was a breakfast buffet. I didn't, and like I said, what people say you're
Hey,
getting
where did
away
y'all stay?
at the Hilton.
It was a pretty big hotel. It was like 2
Yeah,
towers.
Hilton is big.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main one. One of the reasons why people started getting away because I didn't eat much because I only had like one plate of food and I got full.
Back to CEO, dude.
But back to CEO. The venue, phenomenal.
Of course.
It completely organized from head to toe.
I don't think Jabali has ever missed on that.
Nah.
Like he always has really good vendors and everything else. He has a dedicated amount of people that always help him to run the tournament. And I think some of those people actually piggyback off to other tournaments like Combo Breaker and stuff like that, and that one in Canada as well.
The venue is nice, but I think next year he says he's going to be back in Orlando.
Thank God, I'll go.
He's saying that
He's going back in Orlando?
yeah,
For real?
people were complaining about Daytona Beach, saying like it's racist.
Well, apparently not as bad this year, but the year that me and shout outs to my homeboy Sinister, when we went, we didn't get that because of the way I guess we were built. But people were asking us like, "Yo, you two guys are like walking away from this convention. Like, is it a fighting convention? Is it sports or something like that?" People didn't realize it was for arcade, but it was just like, oh, it's a bunch of nerds on like playing video games.
Yeah. I saw one tweet, like there's like an Asian group of people, they were walking around Daytona Beach, and like someone just starts sounding like ching chong, ching chong.
Yeah. I heard that did happen. Yeah.
I didn't get that word, but I'm just like, what does
Like,
that
for what?
mean? It's like
It's
so-
It's
so-
not. We're not. Yeah. They're
like,
using
what's the
slurs or slangs or whatever else.
Oh.
It's discriminatory.
Yeah.
It's discriminatory.
Speaking of that, I think that happened recently in the tournament too. That somebody was. Speaking of that, I think somebody did chant that during Tekken 7.
Really?
I didn't know about that.
I was because like I guess a lot of people were mad. They were saying that during the Tekken 7 tournament, like afterwards, like some people were chanting that. I'm just like,
Oh wow.
I was like, I didn't get what they said, but I'm like, I said, I do not want to.
There's no way. I find it hard to believe that in the like they're chanting like ching chong or whatever.
Yeah, they wouldn't have gotten away with it. Now, but even though I didn't go, they had a few things that were big that was already on YouTube, like the kid that broke his snack bucks micro. And then he lagged out when he caught himself trying to pick up the chair and throw it, but it didn't work.
Nope.
Yeah, so.
And they're making fun of that kid. I don't care how old he is. People say, oh, he's 16.
Yeah.
I don't give a crap how old you is.
When it comes down to sportsmanship, like, you can tell the person that's the best in their neighborhood and they, they're used to just that privilege or whatever else.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter your age. Like, if you think about it, like, the youngest people that I know of that are like that are upper epsilon or the top now, I don't know what age Sonic Fox was at, but Idon was young when he started. Mm-hmm. And heckling shouldn't be an issue for you, because I heard that was the main reason why he was getting upset. You're in a public venue, like that. Somebody has to hold the L.
Honestly, it's part of the FGC.
Yeah, that's literally tradition of the FGC.
You see your boy playing, you start rooting for him. I mean, usually just try not to throw too much shade out. Like I've cheered for my boys when they're playing.
Yeah, like the thing about
it's all fun.
Like for instance, right? RIP to it, but we used to have a LAN center down here called Zero Ping, and especially when Marvel 3 and I'll say Street Fighter 4, like when those two were out, just amongst your large group of friends that are playing that, people talking smack about you. Your own friends is like, yo, why you can't confirm, man? Like, you're going to get made fun of and heckled. So, but if you're a part of that, that group or whatever else, it just, you end up building mental fortitude.
Yeah.
So,
it's not as bad when we're at Zero Ping because we all knew each other. So
yeah, but it also doesn't matter. Like, when you're in the middle of the video game, you should be tunnel visioned on the game, honestly.
Yeah. It shouldn't affect you at all.
I'll never forget the fact that after somebody posted that video, and the dude, he just looks at it, he just like, really? He's like, and then somebody put the caption as like, he can't even hit confirm in real life, and I laughed.
Yeah. Oh no, he hit confirm. He power bombed his fight stick.
Yeah.
But he tried to swing the cameraman, and apparently from another angle, the cameraman literally just like.
Oh really? I didn't see the other angle. I just seen the one where it's just like it's still showing. They gave that guy kudos. They were like, yo man, don't even worry about it. You did what you were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. You built salt.
Pretty much. And the crazy thing, I'm like, the kid, I'm like, he's 16 years old. I was like, thankfully he didn't mess with the wrong one, because if he did, he would have probably got slammed to the floor.
Well, yes, because the thing about it is the FGC is a mixture of young and old, but the one thing is that I can say that's great about the community is there's like no tolerance for like bad behavior.
Yeah.
Like some people get a few pats on the backs, unfortunately, just because of like who they are, but for the most part, they don't tolerate disrespect in any way, shape, or form. So
it gets physical.
Yeah. So you were worse at the game because you lost. You got salty and you had to hold the L. You broke your controller and then you tried going back, which I call laggy input, because he was supposed to do all that at once. Like he had to come back and do it, like frame rates drop. And you call yourself trying to throw a chair and you instantly got manhandled. Like they pushed him away. You could see that, be like, yo, what you?
He wasn't very big, so.
He wasn't.
Nah, he wasn't. Well, the thing about it is they got some big 16-year-olds now.
Yeah, that's true, but he was not one of them.
Yeah,
not one of them.
Yeah, but the thing about it is it's just kind of like one of those things of no excuse. It's poor sportsmanship.
Yeah.
You got to go back and get some more L's so you can build some mental fortitude.
Yeah.
And I think they let the person who runs CEO know about that incident. So they said they will.
The kid got kicked out.
Yeah, he got kicked out.
You got kicked out?
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, but it is one of those things of it's just a sad situation because it's like. But the thing about it is you got two different. Well, I guess Soul would be more of a person I can speak on it. I actually feel like there's two different FGCs now. There's the locals that they always go in person, and then you have the online community. And then, of course, the FGC has been around for quite a few generations. I wasn't a part of the first early adaptation, were you?
I was pretty early on. Like I came back on 2020. Whenever Dago did the Paris, so it was 2004.
Oh, okay. So
early on.
So I technically started in the FGC technically when I met y'all, but as far as going to tournaments, I didn't start until I didn't join Guilty Gear Action Court, but I did Marvel 3 and Injustice. So I don't know. I think Marvel 3 came first, right? No,
Yeah.
I actually did Tatsunoko versus Capcom. That would have been the earliest.
Yeah.
That was before Marvel 3.
Yeah.
So
we were going to tournaments before that. Like I was going to tournaments for Third Strike back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
but for some of the matches, some of them were Snorefest, especially the Rosalina one that everybody was just like, even my homeboy.
Oh, it's for it's almost Smash.
Yeah, yeah, because like there was one time for the because Rosalina is like a range like runaway type of character, and the match was so long. Like some of our friends, some people were just walking away, and they said
they actually had a long Smash.
It was Smash Ultimate. So
yeah.
The Buzz is known for like his lame characters. He plays Pikmin. Pikmin, all you do is throw a little Pikmin at the people.
Yeah.
And he plays Rosalina, which is he has a little star thing, Luma. And
Okay.
Luma just keeps you out. Like, it's like Eddie from Guilty Gear.
Yeah. But those first two matches, you probably gonna have to watch that. The first two matches of Smash was on the top 8. They were phenomenal to the point, like in a lot of fighting games, like in tournaments, they say after like the first in the top 8, they say after these 4 matches we're gonna take a break, and stuff like that. They say after the first 2 matches they were so amazing and the crowd was going so into it. It was like, you know what, we're taking a break, and I'm just like, you serious?
Yeah.
I was like,
well, when it's that hype, sometimes they, especially if the commentators are like constantly talking through it.
They're shouting.
Yeah. They was like, listen, we need to take a break. I was like, you're taking a break already?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, from what I watched, because I did watch 2 of the streams, Marvel 3 was actually hyped throughout the whole thing. Tekken actually had a lot of good matches. Shout outs to Philip Prophet.
Yes.
Because I didn't see you the clip yet, but I messed with my homeboy.
I haven't seen that guy forever.
He did a combo. Like, you could tell this man was in the lab. He did a Amaterasu slowdown with Phoenix, not Dark Phoenix, Phoenix, just constant super. It was fireball super, fireball super, fireball super, like while in slow. Like, people showed off, and then shout outs also to Louis the Panda because he was also there. Street Fighter 6 actually had some good matches. I know he was part of that. He's part of that Honda crew.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing of Street Fighter 6, I all thought that we all know that's the main event, and I thought the Smash Ultimate, I thought it was gonna fill up the arena. No. It did, but not as much as Street. But as soon as Street Fighter 6 hit, the entire arena was basically.
Yeah, the thing about it is because I know you're more of a Smash person because you keep talking about it. Smash is big, but you got to remember what Street Fighter 6 has done. Like all the content that they've been talking about and everything else. It's obvious that's going to be one of the biggest tournaments for a while, especially with this whole $1 million prize pool.
I mean, Street Fighter pretty much brought together all the different fighting game communities.
And the fact that Bernard won with Blanco, who is not his #1 main.
No, but
the fact that he won.
It's obvious though. It's obvious.
He made Blanco the top tier there.
Yeah, he made Blanco top tier, and his main is Luke.
And Luke's the best character in the game. That's probably the craziest part. That's the craziest part. The fact that he destroyed people with Blanco.
No. From what I understand, he used Luke all the way up until that.
Yeah. What I'm saying it's still like, why would you bust out Luke top 8? I mean, we don't know. So like,
we don't. No, the thing about it is you can tell that
he put work with that.
He put work in because every one of his things was set up. If you ever noticed, every time when there was a knockdown, he's able to throw out the little mini Blanca, and he instantly is doing a hit into a confirm. If it wasn't the super, he was doing like a 2-part hit confirm into a spark.
Honestly,
and it was always there. Like
his Blanca looked cleaner than like the Blanca mains.
Yes, that's
well, I like what I can't remember if it was ISC Yipes or whatever else, or one of the commentators said Mena is always going to pick the ugly characters.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, like maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
What?
But
I mean, obviously, probably doesn't do it on purpose.
But you know what's the funny thing is I will say this. I mean, not a lot of notable new players, but I know Kane Blue River came down, and apparently he stayed down for a little bit because he was also part of one of the Tampa Never Sleep things. He actually came back from Marvel.
Yeah.
But Idom, I didn't know that Idom technically first started with Marvel, then went to Street Fighter, and then came back to Marvel, and he's doing hella work with that. I'm not sure if Punk was in Marvel, but I know Punk started playing Marvel as well. Marvel 3.
Yeah, sorry.
Punk actually did a really good job too, but I thought actually it was going to be like Idom and Mena, or or something like that. But I was actually surprised.
I knew going to tournament was going to win the whole thing. It was like it's so obvious that he was like a cut above everyone else.
Yeah.
Just watch him go through the pools, like he was destroyed.
Though the Punk match with the down 2-0, then 1-3 streak, that was phenomenal.
Punk versus Koba.
I think it was one.
Coma, yeah.
It was one of, but that match was phenomenal.
Coma threw that shit away though.
Tekken, that was phenomenal as well. I'm like, but here's my question for both of you guys. Well, it's two questions really. Tekken 8 will most likely come out next year. Most likely.
Yeah, most likely.
Do you think that will be the main event, or you still think it will be Street Fighter 6?
It's going to be Street Fighter 6.
No matter what.
All right.
Well, the thing about it is, here's the thing. So what most people don't understand before Street Fighter 6 came out, when Capcom announced the $1 million or the $2 million, but $1 million first place prize, is that everything is going through the CPT, meaning it's a bunch of mini events that's going into it. It's not happening this Evo, right? It's supposed.
It is.
I think
is this Evo for them?
I think it is.
They're not building it up.
What do you mean? It's part. It's part of the CPT.
Yeah.
But it's not like that's not the final step. That's like Evo's like a stepping stone for CPT.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So when is the CPT though?
I don't know.
That part I don't know.
No, because that's where you're actually going to get the $1 million. But people don't realize just you have to qualify for that. So there's a bunch of tournaments that they actually have to do first.
I mean, Tekken does the same thing with the Tekken World Tour.
Yeah.
The thing is, Tekken. The reason why Tekken's not going to be as popular is too technical.
Yeah, it's Tekken. Like at the end of the day, it's Tekken.
Like they try to dumb it down, but at the end of the day, you pick that shit up and like every character has 100 moves and.
Well, didn't they actually speak about like I don't know if they. I don't remember when Tekken got streamlined because it did get streamlined. I think it was with 7. It was with 5, right? 5 is when they kind of like.
It was 5.
Yeah, they tried, but like it's still not streamlined.
Yeah, and now you have a new mechanic that you have to worry about.
Yeah.
So it's
like I really tried to play Tekken like competitively, and like it's too much. Like when you learn your character, you learn your top 10 moves to use.
Yeah,
but you go online and everyone's throwing out like these new gimmicks to everyone like. You just have to learn how to counter each gimmick. You got sidestep that left.
The problem is 3D fighters or games like Tekken, you can't just learn your character and implement your plan. You actually have to know every damn matchup, including the mirror match.
Yeah, Street Fighter, like you learn your character, and you do learn matchups, but like your matchups, like the character doesn't have a million gimmicks.
Yes.
And the final question, my second question, and possibly the final one, with Street Fighter 6 making a huge impact, as always, even for Evo and for CEO, do you guys think Street Fighter 6, vanilla Street Fighter 6, is better than vanilla Street Fighter 4?
Yeah.
Oh, 4?
Yeah.
I feel it's better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the original.
Well, the thing about it is in what sense? Are you just talking about from the fighting UI, or are you just talking about overall?
Overall.
Well, by far, Street Fighter. Remember, you got 2 games in one. You got people that literally can just sit there and do World Tour mode till they're blue in the face.
Yep.
Or you can have people that can go online, and it's not just online. It's now online with options. You can either play with your avatar and the scrambled eggs of that and whatever you made, and then, or you can actually play online and compete with people. They made the netcode even better. You got extreme battles and you have options now within it.
I mean, it's just like Capcom learned from their mistakes type of thing.
Yeah, the only thing they didn't do is something that Guilty Gear has always done, which is you have a whole bunch of ridiculous modes like the MOM mode and time attack and everything else.
I mean, World Tour is good enough.
Yeah, World Tour
with custom characters.
You literally get to shore you people in the face and then start a match in World Tour mode and get an EXP. You get to beat EXP out of NPCs.
Yeah, I'd say from a competitive stance, like the game actually does feel fairly balanced. Like you see a bunch of tier lists, but like no one's lower than C tier.
Yeah.
When Street Fighter 4 came out, like
it was obvious.
Sagat,
Ryu, and like
Sagat, Ryu.
There's like some characters like that.
If you look at vanilla Street Fighter 4 versus what was it called Ultimate Street Fighter 4? Was it? Or was it
there's so many iterations. Yeah.
The first one was just Street Fighter 4, but the last one was
Ultra.
Ultra?
Yes, Ultra.
Yeah, like if you look at the tier list between just those two alone, it's such a drastic difference.
Yeah, Sagat was so broken in vanilla Street Fighter 4. Like it was, if you anti-RD, you lost half your health. Although that happens in this game too, but now everyone can do that.
Well, but the thing about it is you have to do it technically. Like the only person that takes half your health like instantly is going to be Zangief and Manon after she got 5 stocks.
Yeah, you sound like without like technical
Yeah, like
combo skills type of thing.
The thing about it is I don't know anybody that plays dynamic mode yet. I think that's just button mashing central, but modern controls is technically you got 3 different controls. I play classic. And you play classic, I know, but modern controls is kind of like easy. It's easy input, but I don't know what to compare it to because I never tried it. Is it like Power Rangers, or is it like Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, it's like Power Rangers. It's exactly like Power Rangers.
Like Power Rangers,
but it's like Power Rangers, but instead of having like motions for super, it's just strip 1 button super or 2 button super, something like that.
Oh, that's Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, that when you see like competitive people playing modern controllers, they use it just for that super, so they can react to stuff in super. So let's
you lose 3 attack buttons, so
being able to react to stuff with super is broken. If someone like this, like they whiff a low forward, 1 button super that bitch.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds busted.
Yeah, it is.
But it's reduced damage, so it's not too crazy.
Yeah, 20%.
Yeah.
That is, if you play Cammy, good luck doing any damage.
So it's strong, but like I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah, but again, and I don't know what dynamic does.
Dynamic's just straight up noobs, but that's like for like your 4-year-old to play the game.
Funny thing about it, like I said before, like that the announcer, he was like, who plays modern or dynamic? And then he's like, few people stand up. He just like, I said, okay, how many people play classic, hitbox, over the control? And then majority everybody else stand up. He was like, he's all these classic people sit down right quick.
Yeah.
And it's all
if you go to a tournament and if at any point you just say, "Oh, I'm just casual," you should not be at that tournament.
No,
except to spectate.
Yeah.
And to play casuals. Like if you say, "Oh, I'm going to enter, but I'm just a casual player," you wasted. You donated to the pot.
You donated to the pot. We don't mind. Come on.
Thank you.
Join the tournament.
Thank you for donating your money.
Join the tournament. We don't mind. You can come.
You pay to be salty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like that's from
no, but I'm glad y'all actually had fun. Now, did any of y'all? Did he have Jabali fried chicken today? Did y'all have JBC?
Nah, I didn't know that was a thing.
Okay, so when I went, Jabali actually has his own. Like it was in their own little boxes. It's kind of like random selection. You paid for what you got or whatever else, but you would get like 2 pieces, or if you're lucky, 3 pieces, or 1 piece of chicken with like a biscuit or 2 and a side. And when I went, I don't think they perfected the recipe because the chicken was salty as hell.
Damn.
But it cost a lot though.
How much it cost?
For that was like $15 to $17.
Oh, damn.
But think about it, it's one of those things of
You're supporting the tournament type of thing.
I mean, yeah, you're supporting, and also you don't want to leave the venue and have to walk like a mile and a half away to go to the Burger King or something like that. No, there's like the place that it's at, like the Burger King. It's not a far walking distance, but it's enough to where it's taking time.
Yeah.
Getting away from everything.
This year,
it's a good match.
Yeah. This year they just had like a bunch of food vendors and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had the food trucks outside, and people would just go outside and go eat. But I'll tell you this, Domino's and Papa John's, they were making mad money on CEO. But every time we go to the hotel, Domino's, Papa, I'm just like, jeez, they don't even have to do delivery.
Well, we do have a bunch of fighting games that are still coming out, so I'll most likely try to go to CEO next year.
Would
But
you enter?
Huh?
Would you enter?
Probably enter tomorrow.
Next year.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, would you enter for next
Well,
year?
yeah. The only thing, if there's side tournaments, if Power Rangers is still relevant, because I haven't been playing it for a while, I would still enter that. Marvel 3, I would definitely enter. Hell, if they have a palette swap Marvel 3, I'll enter it. I'll enter both of them.
Yeah.
But I would enter Street Fighter 6 just to see where I'm at. I don't mind donating to the pot because I'm still playing the game and practicing with people. But we also have Grand Blue Fantasy is coming out with their game, whenever that comes out.
Oh, the newest one.
Yeah, like with all the updates and everything else.
I'm surprised you're not going to enter DNF Duel.
Huh?
I'm surprised you're not entering DNF Duel for you.
Oh, I haven't touched that game in so long.
I think I get that.
I donated money to the cause. Like, to me, that game still needs more polishing and more UI changes that it needs. To me, it's not in its final form, unfortunately. Even with the stuff that they did. We have Tekken. We got Mortal Kombat 1.
Next
We got new Grand Blue coming out. I did hear about a new Under Night and Birth. Not sure when that's going to come out.
Yeah.
And I mean Tekken 8's next year as well, but unless it's in the first 4 months, I'm not going to even bother. Like, you need time to practice that. Tekken,
Yeah.
you do not go, oh, I think I'm good.
Good.
No,
And
you
then
practice half a year, then you see if you're comfortable.
Yep. And last but not
It's gonna have rollback though.
Huh?
They're gonna have rollback in Tekken 8.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, technically, Harada said that there's already rollback in Tekken 7, but we're not going to say anything on that.
Sure.
And last but not least, shout out to some of the cosplayers who actually cosplayed in CEO. There was a Cammy that I read. There was a jury that I seen. Chun-Li, obviously, there's going to be there.
Yeah.
Well, the popular girl for Street Fighter 6 apparently is Cammy Cakes. So,
Cammy cakes.
yeah, that's all I've been hearing. The thing about it is that I think a cosplayer or somebody actually has that name, but it's always been the term of Cammy Cakes. So, you know what it means. Don't need to go into it any further. But for Street Fighter 6, it's Cammy and Jury.
Yeah.
Jury for obvious fetishes, but for Cammy is just like she's the mainline girl for Street Fighter 6,
Yep.
the popular one.
Can't wait for DLC for the next few weeks just to see how they.
What kind of outfits they come up with?
They're gonna be busted. The funny thing is like any game, especially with Street Fighter 5.
6.
With
you're saying
Street Fighter 5. Like when the new characters come out, they seem to be way too strong for the other characters compared to like the other ones. But some of these characters are strong as could be. Shout outs to Desk showing off all these combos because the potential is there, but a lot of these combos aren't practical.
Yeah.
But they're there. They're definitely there. So Dawson having the highest DP in the game. The highest damage. The highest damage in the game.
I believe.
Dalcine?
Yeah. Highest
that.
damage in the game. But again, that's based off of like you looking at Desk with like the optimal
That
stuff.
doesn't count.
Kind of hope this Sagat will make a comeback.
Maybe.
I think if enough, the thing
Actually,
about
I
it is
think-
with any game, if enough people actually make a stink about something, they'll come. We know the first
Isn't
four.
there like a leak with all the characters? I forgot if Sagat was
Yeah.
in that.
No,
he wasn't.
Okay.
He wasn't. So we got 4 characters that are going to be coming out. Some of them are Street Fighter 5, and others are new.
Brand new characters.
I'm actually interested in what Rashida's going to play like with
Yeah.
this system because he was already a Marvel character in Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
And then Aki.
Aki looks cool. I like her design. Her design is really
I'm
cool.
actually not interested in Nakuma. What? Like, I play Fireball characters, but I've been ran away. Like, the only Shotos that I actually have gone back to in passing has either, I don't really call Rose a Shoto, but it's been Sakura and Sagat. That's the only 2 I actually ever.
Surprisingly, I'm surprised she's not in there either.
Rose?
Sakura?
Yeah, and Rose as well.
I mean, technically, Sakura could be a part of it, but she's making money selling out arenas or working at them.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Who needs tournaments when you just be a J-pop idol?
Yeah. So, but we did have some other stuff to talk about. You know, CEO is always a wonderful thing to talk about, especially when it's fighting games. Me and Soul can talk about fighting games all day.
Yeah.
But we don't want to bore all you, the audience. But what's the next thing? Because we actually have quite a few that you...
Oh, yeah. Speaking of video games, it's not fighting games, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know. It's a game that came out... Has it been a week or... I would say almost 2 weeks. I would say it's one of the biggest franchises of all time. Final Fantasy 16.
I'm jealous of all you PS5 users right now.
I played the game.
It's fun.
It's fun. I will put it this way. There's a lot of reviews that I've been reading, and it got nothing but 9s, and I see why, because they say because of the frame rate and performance mode kind of dropped a little bit, which
I thought they already fixed that.
Yeah, they're going to fix it, but I'm like, until then, they was like, they're gonna fix that eventually. But I'm like, I see that's a problem. But the game itself, very fast paced. It is extremely fast. Is it better than 13 and 15? Heck yes.
Well, okay,
Yes.
okay. Hold on. If anybody is making a review and comparing 13 and 15, something got to be wrong with them. First of all, 13 was literally a telegraphed mess. You didn't get to go really nowhere for a Final Fantasy game. It was like playing Animusha. You don't get to go nowhere really.
Yeah.
And then 15, let's be totally honest, 15 was literally the beta test for what Remake turned into. 15 was great, the story was solid, everything was fun, but the battle system was clunky. You see the port and polish that they did in Remake, so of course 16 is going to be better. Now, if you want a true comparison, is the pacing, if you're saying it's fast, is it as fast as what Devil May Cry 5 was?
It looks like that.
I would say it's on that same thing.
Okay, then
it's on that.
Then okay, then when we put those two together, those other two is irrelevant. Like whoever.
I was like like those two, and the soundtrack.
Really?
Beautiful. The reason why, and like, you know, in battle modes, you hear battle modes and stuff like that.
Of course.
Their battle theme, for those who are huge diehard Final Fantasy fans, some of the battles that they have, part of the beginning has some of the parts of Final Fantasy 8. Then as it goes on, does something original. Then it transitions to Final Fantasy 12 when you're battling the Espers.
Okay.
Like when you're fighting the summon monsters in order to get them to your party.
Yeah.
They put some elements into that. They put some elements into Final Fantasy 15, and some elements on the soundtrack for 14, 13, and even Final Fantasy 10 to one huge package.
Like the actual soundtrack?
Not the actual soundtracks, but like, you know,
elements.
Like elements. Like you can hear hints.
Okay.
Like, you know, when you're playing the game, it's like this sounds familiar. I said I kind of hear like Final Fantasy, like something vibes, like
that's
Final
pretty cool.
So they put all that into one. They put another soundtrack of like some parts of Final Fantasy 10. It's like, okay, they kind of remixed it on that and put in their own flavor to it.
Okay.
So it's like,
Question though, how difficult is the game so far?
And what level? What difficulty did you play it at?
I played it. I didn't play it on hard mode, sadly. I said, let me just see how I feel.
Try to get your first playthrough.
Try to get my first feel for it. It's difficult at first, but because the action is like very fast, and like, you know, we have to do that little button thing to time it to make it like perfect or something like that.
Carries.
Yeah, I couldn't get it. So there are times I couldn't get it in time, even though I got mad about it. But
Now, from what I understand, because you know, just like yourself, they got a few people that have already. You beat the game, right?
yeah, no.
Oh well, from what I understand, the game actually does open up a New Game Plus.
Yes.
You actually need to get to New Game Plus.
Yep. You do.
So
Is New Game Plus like that's like it's like a new game with
yeah. So what it is the levels increase. There's other modes and or other missions and everything. Like it just more other bosses. Like it just opens up. So
you may think you get it through the first time, but then they're like, oh, here's round 2. I was like, get through this. Voice acting wise,
really, well, I heard it's one part Final Fantasy, one part something else, one part Game of Thrones.
yes.
So okay.
It's based. Yeah, I was gonna. You beat me too. I was gonna say it's what would happen if Final Fantasy and Game of Thrones have a baby together, put their voice acting in it. That's basically what it is, and it was. I'm like putting the even though they're new and they're not really known big time like the others. They did a phenomenal job, and I'm just like commendable. And some of the one of the boss battles. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys because let's just say one of the voice battles basically had me on the edge of my seat because I'm trying to time it perfectly and I keep getting killed, keep losing. And yes, people, I lose. I need to get better. People say get good, whatever. But this game overall, I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far.
So is it actually higher than a 9 for you?
I would say 9.5 out of 10. I would give it that. Do I still have it as a Game of the Year nominee? Of course. I'll put that as a nominee.
Right,
so
what's the competition though? Like,
the competition, you got Legend of Zelda, you got Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
We got to keep an eye on Armored Core now.
Yes.
So now, maybe Starfield. Who knows?
Nah, I've already been seeing stuff about Starfield today.
Because that's basically Microsoft's last hope. But basically, Armored Core. Oh yeah, and Spider-Man 2. I gotta keep an eye on Spider-Man 2.
When did Spider-Man 2 come out?
This year, I think either September or.
Okay. It's early enough to be relevant because you already know how I feel. If it's November, December, I cannot count it.
You can't. Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so
and the last thing I'll say, speaking of Square Enix doing a good job with this game, I don't know if you guys saw what happened on the Nintendo Direct. It wasn't all that, but there was one game that basically erupted the internet.
I didn't see it. I was supposed to watch it.
Nintendo Direct? What was it?
It was basically Mario Day, but the one game that erupted everybody, including myself, Super Mario RPG.
Oh, Paper Mario?
Not Super Mario RPG remake. Like,
okay,
it's been on the Super Nintendo and it's been over 20 years old, and they decided to remake. I'm like, that's a definition of a remake right there. And when they decided to remake it, everybody went crazy to the point where they saying that Best Buy and GameStop pre-orders right now. They're saying they made more than Breath of the Wild.
Wow.
I'm just like,
wow.
There's like,
yeah.
Mind you, I said Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom they say it's getting there. So I'm just like, but is it gonna be Game of the Year nominee? Nope. People say, why I say that? Because it's coming out late November. So by the time the awards come out,
it's just Mario RPG though. It's like,
yeah,
we've played it before.
I mean, it really just depends on what they remake, the options, the UI, and stuff like that. It'll definitely be a contender maybe for the.
I got a hot
following
take.
year.
I've got a hot take. I don't give a shit about Mario RPG remake. Like, I feel like I would rather a Mario RPG 2 or something like that, a new game.
Well, I mean, technically, remakes are new games.
It's a new game,
but they're using the old IP to try to do it. I get it. I get it. Honestly, I
mean, it's been so long that I guess it's fine.
I'm kind of in between when it comes down to, like, I don't really play a lot of Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Because I was one of those people to where I went from Sega, played all the systems in between, but went straight to PlayStation. Once PlayStation, Sony has the largest library compared to any gaming console, but PS1, 2, and 3, but mainly 1 and 2, fighting games and RPGs were abundant. So I was lost. Oh, and action adventure or action RPG games. I was lost deep. Like, Nintendo what? So I didn't have time to actually go back.
Yeah, the Switch, no, the GameCube was my last Nintendo system for a while. And then
mine was the Wii, and that was for Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
Yeah, and then I picked up a Switch, but then I picked the Switch just because it's portable and to play like certain games.
Smash.
Yeah, Smash.
So this goes on. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. But as for Final Fantasy goes, you guys need to try it out. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
So I'm glad you said that, because I was actually talking to a homeboy about. Shout out to Heavy Arms. Why couldn't the demo go on both? Why couldn't it be on PS5 and on Steam? Just the demo. Because Sony has time exclusivity. That's fine.
Yeah.
But by the time this game comes out, because from what I understand, whatever you played in the demo in the game, when the game finally came out, your experience transfer over. That means we got to start balls to the wall day one. Just, hey, you start from level 1. You don't get to start like anybody else. Like, why couldn't the demo just be out? I just hold on to my demo. When the game come out, I just make my purchase. You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough I probably got to wait, what? Because the way Sony is notorious for it, because even with Destiny, before it became like multi-plat, Microsoft didn't get it. Like, DLC was either a year or 2 years later.
Yeah.
So for stuff that people were getting on Microsoft or on the Xbox, Sony was just like, oh, that's old. Well, yeah, for them. So now all of a sudden the same thing has to happen for PC people? Because we already know Microsoft has went the route of fully cross-plat, and shout-outs to them. But Sony, at least the demo. Demo should have came out at the same time.
Yeah, that would nice actually.
Yeah, so...
Because people would play with the hype.
Yeah, like for instance, I'm playing Lies of P right now, the demo. I'm loving the game right now as the demo. But I don't know if the experience will transition over. But if I find somewhere it says it does, I'm about to grind this demo to holy hell. Just so
Level 99.
yeah, so it'll take forever, but I'm going to do it.
It will take forever.
Kill all the slimes.
You know, so, but nah, it's just, but I guess that goes into a very interesting segue, which I guess you're going to have the floor, you know, for the FTC between Microsoft and Sony and their debacle. But I wasn't able to look up a lot of information on it, guys. I'm sure y'all probably are more privy to it than I am. But Powertrick over here actually does know quite a bit. You watched all 5 days, right?
I haven't watched all 5 days of it, but I watched like bits and pieces, like more of the highlights and stuff like that.
All I know is Sony kicked themselves in the mouth, shoved breadsticks up their butt, and a whole bunch of other stuff. They literally did a bad job of representing or caring about the consumer.
Yeah.
So,
they
come on, talk about it, man.
They didn't do. I don't even want to talk about.
So what was this about, like, mainly? Because I'm not too privy on exactly like what the court case was with
Yeah. So from what I was told, and I can only give the Reader Digest, guys, and anybody that wants to correct me, definitely let me know. Like I said, I didn't see anything on it, but apparently, from what I was told, Microsoft is trying to acquire Bethesda, and. But the thing about it is every company that they try to get, they're making everything cross-platform. Mm-hmm. Cross-platform is for the consumer.
Yeah.
Because, let's just be honest, Xbox Game Pass is honestly the best subscription service you'll ever get. Granted, it's pricey, but for what you get,
it's kind of worth it.
Yeah, it's completely worth it. Sony, on the other hand, and the FTC, well, apparently the FTC was dick riding Sony. They kept talking about the pros of Sony and everything else, but apparently the judge must be a gamer, because he was calling out like he's calling out all their stuff. Now apparently day 3 is one that we're supposed to be highlighted to look on, because that's when FTC's heavy hitters were supposed to come in with evidence.
Yeah. And
apparently they had nothing. It just sounded like they were dick riding Sony. So it was kind of like, now from what I understand, Phil Spencer and all the top executives was there. Sony made it look like all they were trying to do was just take consumers' money.
Pretty much.
I mean, which they are trying to do.
Well, yeah, but the thing about it is yeah, you take the money for a service or a game or something like that. But when I was having a conversation with my friend, I am always going to be a Sony diehard because of what I went through with PS1 and PS2, and PS3 technically. It did me no wrong. PS3 is when microtransactions and DLC started coming about, and I think we've had this conversation. I believe Activision was the devil that brought that in, but I don't know if they were the first people. I just know that Call of Duty Black Ops was the first time I heard about DLC, and it's like everybody followed suit after that. But Well, Call of Duty is a different beast, but I don't want to get into the details on that. But then, you know, once PS3 and their backwards compatibility went away when they made the second and third generation consoles, now all of a sudden PS4 comes out. Everybody wants PS4, you know, to be backwards compatible. Oh, what happens? Oh, well, if you want to play your old games, we have a subscription service called PlayStation Now. You get an HD system, but you get non-HD ported quality. Now everything's going to 720 and 1080p versus games that were played on 30, 80, and 40, 480p and everything else, and it's just ported over, so it's going to look pixelated and horrible, but we gotta pay like $5 or $6 to play old games?
Yeah, stupid.
Like, why not just make it backwards compatible? Then they changed their subscription service, which actually gives you less content depending on what you have. So you now have different tiers, kind of like Netflix.
Yep.
But now it's, oh, you get, well, with the because I had PlayStation Plus for a while, and I don't know if I still have it, because I've almost, in a way, have converted almost fully to PC, especially for fighting games, but
Same.
almost fully. But you get 2 games, sometimes 3, depending on the game. Oh, it's an upscale for a PS5 or something like that. So in all honesty, it might not even be technically 2 games for it. But if you pay for the highest one, you get like 5 or 6 games or something like that. But 2 are PS4, 2 are PS5, 2 is VR. Like, wait, I don't have 2 of these. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so what else am I getting out of this? You know, it kind of just doesn't make any sense. Just go the same route as Xbox Game Pass. In fact, like, from what I understand from people that have Xbox Game Pass is all of the third-party games and oldest dirt games stay on there. You have plethora of games, hundreds of games at your disposal. Sony could easily do that with PS1 and PS2 games, even the Japanese ones, with the way technology went. I don't think it would take any amount of space of like 6 terabytes or something like that to run half of the games on PS1.
Not
And
even.
possibly even PS2.
Yep.
So
The games are small because they're all on discs.
Yes.
yeah, so cloud storage shouldn't even be a thing.